All right.
Okay.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah.
He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just load an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression,
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.
Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just load an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression,
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. Easy, you don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
Oh, wrong face, wrong face, wrong face, wrong face. There you go.
You always do that.
Oh my God. Hey, what's going on, guys? Y'all seen the thumbnail? Y'all already know. So we're gonna do the Amber Turd hashtag Amber Turd trial, and we're gonna get this cracking. So where's my guest at? So Robbie, again, appreciate her for coming on through. So we can hopefully this trial be ended today with the last remaining hours. So they got Mr. Johnny D on the stage. Shout out to Johnny Depp. And here we go. Let me get that volume up.
As their star witness, but the case was not brought against the church. It was brought against the Sun newspaper, journal, whatever it is.
Mr. Rottenborn referenced that you were on the stand for multiple days.
4.5, I believe, yes.
Yeah. What was the nature of that examination? Or excuse me, who was conducting that examination of you?
QC Sasha Was,
And whose attorney was that?
the Sun.
Can we please pull up DX 857A?
All right, it's already in evidence. So you can publish it.
Mr. Depp, do you recall seeing this text message when Mr. Rottenborn was questioning you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Can you explain what you're conveying to Mr. Carino in this text message?
I'm in total shock that this is happening to me, that my entire life on the planet has been brought to the head of a pin with all this completely, utterly false information. So I am, when you're accused of horrific acts and things that you have not done, when it's actually some very ugly things that are going out there into the world about you on a non-stop basis by Ms. Heard and her team, you have a tendency as humans to get very, very irate and angry. Not to the point where you go out and hurt someone, not to the point even where you assault a cabinet. But you do get irate. You do wonder why this person is doing this to me. So many things go through your head. And then you've got your family, you've got your kids, you've got your parents. My mom, thankfully, didn't get to read any of this because that would have killed her. But my father, my family, everyone that I've
Write
met,
her
people
notes.
that supported me, suddenly I'm scum. Why?
She's ridiculous. He's selling it to the jury, though.
One little lie.
But he's directing it to her, to the lawyer,
Yes.
not looking at the jury like everybody else.
Exactly.
Could we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 821? Mr. Depp, do you recall seeing this text message when Mr. Rottenborn was asking questions?
Yes, he loves this one. Yes.
Yes. Would you care to explain what you're trying to convey in this text message?
Well, Warner Brothers they were about to find themselves in quite a dilemma as the person that they had just cast.
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation as to what Warner Brothers knew or thought.
Didn't I meet with them?
All right. If you could just wait for the question.
Mm.
I'll sustain the objection. That whole part.
Mr. Depp, without explaining what Warner Brothers felt, why did you send this text message to your sister? And what were, excuse me, strike that. What were you trying to convey to your sister when you sent this text message?
Honestly, I felt responsibility for having gone to those people and painted such a beautiful picture.
Objection. Hearsay, Your Honor. Now he's talking about what he said to Warner Brothers.
Overruled. That's not hearsay. That's what he said.
Change seats.
It's
So,
hearsay
sorry,
if
you
he
can
said what
continue.
they said.
I felt it was my responsibility
Yeah, I
to
guess.
get the truth to Warner Brothers about what they were going to end up facing down the line, which is two franchises that would be causing problems for one another, especially as any news, any press, any media that came out about me at that time had been turned into, I was Charles Manson, I was the worst thing on earth, and they just kept coming. It was like a nonstop fire. So my responsibility, after having painted a beautiful picture of her for them, was to tell them, I think you better.
Objection, Your Honor. Getting into what he claims he told Warner Brothers or wanted to.
He's saying what he wanted to tell them. He's not saying what he actually told them.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Mr. Depp, you mentioned 2 franchise films with Warner Brothers. What 2 franchise films are you referring to?
There was Aquaman, sorry.
Aquanet.
and
He got that off.
Fantastic Beasts, the one that I was in.
And why did you feel a responsibility with respect to those 2 franchise films?
Warner Brothers was starting to get quite upset about some of the things that were being said about me in the press that were constant hit pieces. On one level, yes, it's just acting, it's just movies, but it's business and it's your word. And I had given my word to them, and I felt responsible that I had to tell them exactly what was going on, and that it was going to end up ugly.
And which of those 2 film franchises were you a part of?
I'm sorry?
Which of those 2 film franchises were you a part of?
I was in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and I was in the Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Could we please pull up DX 883? Now, Mr. Depp, do you recall seeing these text messages during Mr. Rottenborn's examination?
Oh God, yeah, yes, I remember.
And you didn't seem to recall these text messages. Is that fair?
It truly is fair. It's, I mean, it's not. I'm not
Do you have
seeing
any?
those. I don't know who Molly is. I don't know any. I don't know nothing about this.
She should have been crossed out the number.
Do
Why
have
would you
any
wait?
understanding
Oh
of
my
what you're
God.
referring to in this text message? Or these two
God bless
text
YouTube.
messages?
No,
That part.
honestly, if
Doxing
somebody
people.
else had borrowed my phone or something and made this text to Stephen, possibly. But I don't understand the. I don't have that kind of. I don't write like I don't have that kind of hubris or expectation. That's quite grotesque text.
Can we take that down, please? Can we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1821? Mr. Depp, do you recognize this
Well, he's
document?
sleepy.
That is behind the bar, yes.
Okay, and do you see Mr. Ronborn asked you some questions about whether there was a telephone.
Yes,
in
now
Australia.
I see a telephone there now.
And
I do,
did you
I really
recall that
do.
telephone being there?
I don't recall the telephone being there, but I can see it now.
Can we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1820? Do you recall me showing you this text message earlier on? Or excuse me, do you recall
yes,
me
of
showing you
course.
this picture
Yes.
during your examination?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And I think I asked you whether you recall a phone being mounted on the wall in the left of this picture. Do you remember that?
Yes,
And what was your answer to that?
no.
Mr. Depp, Mr. Rottenborn asked you some questions about your honeymoon. Do you remember that?
Yes,
And I believe you had testified that you and Miss Heard were on the Orient Express together.
that's correct, yes.
Where had you been prior to being on the Orient Express?
We had been in Australia, and then made it over to Thailand to catch the Orient Express.
If we could bring up the Plaintiff's Exhibit 162 again. Mr. Depp, do you know who took this picture?
Malcolm Connolly.
And despite what Mr. Rottenborn showed you about the picture of you prior to this, do you see a bruise on your face in this picture?
I see like what looks like a pretty decent shiner and a kind of a scratched up nose, yes.
And do you recall how you got the scratches and the shiner?
There was a very brief freak out that Miss Heard had in our cabin just before this dinner. I can't remember why, but there were many. I remember taking the photograph, though. I mean, I remember being there. I remember meeting the chef and all that. But I mean, the quality of the photo is not great. The
Nope.
quality of the other photo that he showed is just.
Look at his eye, though. He looked tore down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mr. Depp,
he had
did
him a
you
night.
ever physically abuse Miss Heard during your relationship?
Never.
No further questions.
All right, sir, you can have a seat next to your attorneys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your next witness. Didn't quite get that, I'm sorry.
Mr. Depp calls Morgan Tremaine.
All right, Morgan Tremaine.
I see a clock. I apologize, chat, and being real nosy.
You solemnly swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case and accordance with the law.
Ooh, full house tonight.
Heck yeah, everybody wants to be there for the train wreck.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's a nice little
Good
suit.
afternoon, Mr. Tremaine.
Hello,
Would you please state your full name for the record?
Morgan Cliff Tremaine.
And what do you do for a living?
I produce esports events and design video games.
Ooh, esports.
And in 2016, what did you do for a living?
I worked as the field assignment manager at TMZ.
What is TMZ?
TMZ is an entertainment news website and television show.
And what were your responsibilities as a field assignment manager for TMZ?
I was the go-between the news desk in the office and the reporters in the field, which you might know as paparazzi.
Approximately how many paparazzis were you in charge of?
At the time, it was about 20 in LA, a handful, maybe 3 in New York, and then 1 in DC.
And what were your responsibilities specifically as to the paparazzi?
It would be to dispatch paparazzi to various locations based on tips or just direction dictated by having a list of sort of hot spots where celebrities would be.
And how were those tips received?
They were received either through tips that we received through our tip line or directly through news producers in the office.
And were tips frequently received directly from sources?
Very often the case, yeah.
And who were the type of sources that TMZ received tips from?
They would receive tips from, oftentimes it would be publicists, managers, agents, or B-list celebrities.
Lawyers?
And lawyers, definitely.
How are tips verified?
Tips are verified by an extensive process. If they come in through our tip line, we have to verify who sent it, that the source is truthful, and so they have to add their contact information, which is a field in that on that website for like name, phone number, things like that.
And how long did that process typically take?
If we receive a tip through the tip line, it could take a while because that would need to be, if it was a tip, we would need to verify it. If it was media, such as photos or videos, that would need to be extensively verified to ensure that the person sending it is the copyright holder and that we would have the legal ability to air it and distribute it.
And while working for TMZ, were you involved in any assignments related to Ms. Heard?
I was.
What was the first time you recall working on an assignment related to Ms. Heard?
I believe it was May 27th, 2016.
And what was your role in that assignment?
For that, Ms. Heard was filing a restraining order at a courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. So I dispatched camera people to that location.
Under what circumstances would you normally send paparazzi to a courthouse?
Only if we had been informed prior. It's not by any means a celebrity hotspot. We would only ever send people there if we had been tipped off that something was occurring and there was somebody present there.
And what footage was TMZ trying to capture at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
We were trying to capture Amber leaving the courthouse and an alleged bruise on the right side of her face.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay and foundation.
What were they supposed to do?
Right. She's asking for, I don't think there's a foundational
I'll
hearsay.
overrule the objection at this point.
Go ahead, Mr. Tremaine.
Can you state the question again?
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse, and then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side of her face, the alleged bruise.
Did your team of videographers get the shot of Amber Heard?
We did.
What is the difference between receiving a tip from a news producer and any other source?
If it's any other source, it would have to be verified by copyright. If it was anything that was received directly through a news producer, then they go through that process to verify the source.
Did you do anything to verify the tip on May 27th, 2016 related to Amber Heard?
I did not,
Why not?
because it had come directly from a news producer.
Does that mean it had been verified?
It means that they had verified that tip and deemed that it was credible, and therefore a camera person needed to be dispatched.
After May 27th, 2016, were you involved in any other assignments related to Amber Heard?
Yes.
Can you tell me about those assignments?
The next one would have been August 6th, 2016, where she was giving a deposition.
So what did you do in relation to that tip?
I dispatched camera people to a parking lot adjacent to a law office in which she would be arriving to, so we could get the footage of her arriving for the deposition.
Do you typically send paparazzis to parking lots of law offices?
No, not at all.
Did you get the shot of Miss Heard on August 6, 2016?
We did.
After August 6, 2016, were you involved in any other stories involving Miss Heard?
Yes, it was.
And what story was that?
On the 12th, we received a video depicting Johnny Depp slamming some cabinets that was captured by Ms. Heard.
And what day was that?
I believe that was the August 12th
Of 2016?
of 2016, yes.
Can you describe to the jury how you received the video on August 12, 2016?
Yes, the video was sent in through our email tip line, which is an email distribution that goes to all the producers and to myself as the field assignment manager, because it often included celebrity locations. It came in as I recall,
Objection, hearsay.
He's just describing how it came in.
I think he's about to reveal hearsay, Your Honor.
Please continue.
Yeah.
So I received that email, and it included a link.
The
from
pettiness is unreal.
known Dropbox type public website in which it contained that
Objection,
video.
Your Honor, hearsay. He's about to describe what comes from the Dropbox website, and that's.
So far, he just said he's, was a link from the Dropbox. We'll see the next question. Go ahead, next question.
So you received a link. What was in that link?
In that link was the video of
His
Johnny Depp
face.
smashing the cabinets.
And you received this video in your inbox, correct?
I did.
What did you do once you received that video?
We downloaded it. We alerted the web editor who was sitting next to me at the time. We downloaded it, and then were instructed by the news producer to do what we call slap bumpers and a bug on it, which is putting the dun 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 at the beginning end, and then putting a translucent watermark over it, which indicates copyright ownership.
After you did that, was it posted?
It was posted, yes.
Where was it posted?
It was posted to tmz.com.
Did you do anything else related to Amber Heard on August 12, 2016?
Yes, I received a tip that Amber Heard would be arriving at LAX, and so I dispatched camera people to film that exit, or her arrival to LAX, rather.
And why did you do that?
I was instructed to.
How long does it take to post a story after media's been received by TMZ?
After media has been received, it could take any length of time depending on who owns the copyright.
How does TMZ obtain copyright over images and videos?
The only way to obtain copyright over media would be if we shot it ourselves, if it was sent to the tip line, source verified that it was from the original copyright owner, and then either purchased from that person or given to us. And then the third option would be if it was directly given to us by the copyright holder, like a direct source.
And how long does it take to copyright something TMZ has received through the tip line?
It can take a while because you have to extensively verify that that person owns the copyright. And then possibly, it depends also if you can even get in contact with the person because they might not be super responsive immediately via phone or email that they provided. And then potentially you'd have to enter a negotiation with our clips and clearances department to figure out the cost of that media.
How long does it take for TMZ to obtain a copyright over something received directly from a source?
Something in the realm of 15 minutes just to do what I described before, which is putting bumpers and a bug on something and write the article and post it. It's pretty fast.
How much time had passed from the time you received the kitchen cabinet video to the time it was posted on TMZ?
About 15 minutes.
Did any other tabloids other than TMZ post this video?
No,
Objection leading and calls for hearsay.
Did any other tabloids?
Overrule.
Mr. Tremaine, go ahead.
No, they did not.
And why not?
Because it was a TMZ exclusive.
And what does that mean?
It means the TMZ owns the copyright to it. So it can't be distributed by any other media source without backlinking to TMZ. And they wouldn't be able to upload that media without getting a copyright strike.
Have you seen the kitchen cabinet video that was played in this trial?
I have, yes.
How does that video that was played in this trial compare to the one you received on August 12, 2016?
When I had clicked the direct link that we received and watched the video in its entirety, it was much shorter than the video we had received, than the video that's been played in this trial. There was a bit at the beginning that was played here in which Ms. Heard is seemingly sort of sitting at the camera and getting into position. And then there's a bit at the end where she's seemingly sniggering and looks at the camera. That part was not present in what we received.
Did TMZ edit the video?
No, not even a little. When we receive something and it's edited, there's a clear indicator because there's sort of a journalistic practice that uses when there's an edit, you do what's called like a white flash transition, which covers the entire screen with white to very clearly indicate to everybody there was an edit here for time or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Just to make it a little more compelling. But in this case, it was not edited as I was staring at the machine that edited it and present for the entirety of receipt to publishing.
When was the next time you worked on an assignment related to Amber Heard?
It was, well, there was the time where we went to the airport. And then the day after that, because she had flown in for the deposition, because I think the first time didn't work out. So she was arriving again for the deposition in that same parking lot adjacent to a law office.
And what's that, August 13th, 2016?
That was August 13th, yeah.
And what was your assignment on August 13th, 2016?
To dispatch camera people to that parking lot at a specific time in order to film Amber Heard arriving for the deposition.
How did you know that tip was legitimate?
It came from a news producer.
While you worked at TMZ, did you ever receive any communications from Mr. Depp or his camp?
I did not.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination?
Yes. So how do you know what video was shown at this trial?
Shout out to Tommy B. Shout out to
I was alerted by a friend that
shout out to Bernard.
that
Appreciate
TMZ
you.
was being kind of talked about.
Yes.
And so I had seen a clip of that.
So you watched some of this
What?
stuff? Okay. When did you first reach out to counsel for Mr. Depp?
I believe that was 6 days ago, whatever that date would be. I'd have to do that.
All right. And then you received a subpoena, I think yesterday, in care of your attorney, Cindy Hickox, right?
Correct.
Okay. And Cindy Hickox represents Christy Dombrowski, Kate James, Robin Baum. and
Objection,
Debbie
Your
Lloyd.
Honor.
Were you aware
Calls
of
for
that?
speculation.
Overruled.
Were you aware of that?
No.
Now, if you don't have information that's helpful to this case, then you wouldn't be a witness, correct?
Objection. Calls for
can't.
speculation.
Sustained. Sustained. Next question.
I'm not aware.
Okay, you know this You know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so that gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't it?
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Why she
My
disrespectful though?
So I
That's okay. Why she's so disrespectful? I
consider
can't.
myself kind of in the target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh,
I find that to be purely logical. Thank you.
Now, are you aware?
oh,
that
people
Mr.
with mouths
Depp's
open in the
attorneys
crowd.
were well aware of the TRO that was going to be
Tommy B
presented
called
on
it for the
May
win.
27th?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Were you aware of that?
Lack of foundation.
No, overruled if you can answer it.
Can you restate the question?
Were you aware that Mr. Depp's divorce attorneys were aware that Amber Heard was going in to seek a TRO on May 27th?
I don't think I understand the question, but I don't think so, no.
Okay.
It's
Do
kind of a
you
complicated question.
know whether Blair Burke, one of Mr. Depp's
I like him.
divorce attorneys, had a very close relationship with TMZ at that time?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Overruled. If he knows.
I was not aware of that.
Okay, and when you said that you were dispatched twice, once to film Amber in a parking lot for the deposition, and then it didn't work out, and so you had to do it another time. How did you know it didn't work out?
Because TMZ.com posted an article saying as much.
Okay.
And
do you
I was
know-
not dispatched.
Do you know
I worked in the office.
why the deposition did not work out?
I'd have to reference the article, I forget.
So do you know?
I didn't write that story. I wasn't involved in the
Do
actual
you know
journalism of that.
which side? Do you know which
The
side
side.
would have known or not known whether that deposition was going to work out? In other words, the people representing Mr. Depp or the people representing Ms. Heard?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. And then the video clip. You don't know who provided that, correct?
Correct. Not testifying to
I
that.
have no further.
All right, redirect.
Tommy B got a question.
Mr. Tremaine, why did you
I want to be
contact
cute in the background
me
too.
in relation to this case?
I got you.
I saw that there was a discrepancy.
Get you
with
some headphones
the
first.
video that's shown here in the video that I know I had received. So I had no interest in testifying. I had reached out simply to maybe try to help with the timeline of things or help with the case in any way, just by virtue of understanding the timeline of the stories that were published and kind of how that can be unclear. But I had no idea I'd be on the stand.
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, sir, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. You have another witness?
Camille with the power
Okay.
suit.
Mr. Depp calls Brian Newmeister, Your Honor.
All right, Brian Newmeister.
Now, see, she a big girl, but she got her stuff together. She look like some.
We caught that.
He has not been sworn.
We caught that.
You solemnly swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case and penalty of law.
Oh, we don't get up in the front and then do that no more with our hand in the Bible? They changed a lot.
COVID.
Oh. Oh, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Newmeister.
Good afternoon.
Could you please
Get your
state
cousin.
the record?
Come on.
It's Norbert, Norbert, Brian.
Triggered now.
Bryan, Newmeister.
Not triggered.
Yeah, I'm triggered.
Meister.
Could you start by describing your educational background, please?
My educational background, well, I graduated from Cal State University Northridge 42 years ago with a degree in political science. From then on, I've been working professionally in photography, totally unrelated, for the past 42 years. And that would also include video.
Speculation.
Audio, and a few other different binary.
I'm not doing it with you today, sir.
I'm sorry. It might be leading to another
I
answer
own
question.
USA Forensic.
What is USA Forensic?
USA Forensic is a digital forensics company. We are boutique. We're very small. We work. We have offices in Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, and in Phoenix, Arizona. We work with varying types of clients because to us, data is data, and it takes no side. So we can be any.
I heard that somewhere before. Shout out to Robbie.
Defense, law enforcement.
I don't know what I be talking about. After
We have a
Angry Black
contract with the
Woman.
Department of Defense. We do classified and unclassified work. We've done classified work with various agencies. We've worked with DOJ, and I've worked in 23 countries as a photographer.
What's your title at USA Forensic?
CEO.
Did you also found USA Forensic?
Originally, around 1990, it was called Skymeister. And that is because of the amount of helicopter photography time I have. About 10 years ago, we changed it to USA Forensic while still doing a lot of the same tasks.
And you described, I think, some of the entities that you work with. What kind of work do you do for those entities that you mentioned?
We do audio forensics, which is clarifying audio, for example, sting operations or audio that may have been picked up on surveillance or any other type of recording, removing background sounds. Video clarification, we do a lot of work with Axon
Your Honor, I'm
cameras.
just going to object on relevance based on the discussion we had earlier. This experience has absolutely nothing to do with anything.
All right. Do you have an objection to him being moved in as an expert in the field?
Well, she hasn't moved yet. I'm objecting to the relevance of the testimony on the subject matter right now.
I'll overrule the objection. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm.
Go ahead, Mr. Neumeister. You can continue.
Where I left off is we do a lot of work with Axon police cameras because they don't really handle low lux levels or low light levels very well. So we clean up, we are beta testers for a program called Input Ace, which is part of the Axon company used by police officers. We clarify their cameras to better see what happened at night, for example, in different scenes. We do the same with surveillance cameras, any kind of camera, cell phone cameras. We also do cell phone forensics, computer forensics, and cell tower forensics, along with photographic forensics.
What types of cases do you work on?
It can be anything from Fortune 500s to it can be anything from a pro per, which is a person that's actually just representing themselves in a smaller case, to a lot of homicide cases, defamation. It could be any kind of case that requires cell phone extractions or computer extractions. Could be money laundering, could be the Department of Defense identifying a voice, that type of thing. Satellite imagery, basically anything with binary.
Oh, heads up. Input Nice is pretty much a type of microphone input to do night recording vision at night. Shout out to me.
In the last 4 years, we've done over 600 cases.
Just did my homework.
That would be in
Yeah.
US federal courts, US district courts, various state courts throughout the United States. We just wrapped up a case that was an overseas case, wrapped up yesterday. We do US military court. We have a case coming up in front of the US Supreme Court. So it's really varied. I've done quite a few US district court cases.
Have you testified as an expert in digital forensics before?
Yes, and what people sometimes don't understand is only about 2% of all cases go to trial. So 98% of the time, you're actually just doing the forensic work and getting it to the parties. And as we say, data is data. It really doesn't take a side. We don't have a narrative. So very often it's just providing the data for the attorneys to work with or the parties.
Have you ever been excluded from testifying as an expert regarding any work that you performed?
No, but you have to take into account that sometimes there might be curbs put on what, for example, in this trial, there's certain boundaries. Or if you're working with a pro per or with a attorney that is not very familiar with electronics. And the thing is, again, they teach Latin in law school, not binary. And binary is the universal language these days. So sometimes in the legal system, it's a little bit hard to explain to attorneys what exactly we're doing. So we try to break it down and make that work.
0101100.
Digital forensics is anything that you are using, like your television set, your cell phone, your computer, anything that runs off of binary information that has coding in it.
How long have you worked in digital forensics?
Well, I actually started off in analog, so it's been 40 some odd years. I started off as a cameraman. My first cameras were film cameras. When I was a kid, my dad was a director of sales and Sales Service Administration for the NBC television network on the West Coast. So I grew up around television cameras. My first cameras were cameras people might not have heard of, Leica, Hasselblad, cameras like that. I trained with some of the best photographers around at the time, William Wallner, Niall Latham, really excellent photographers. And I started shooting videotape from helicopters, and I logged about 14,700 hours of video. And at that time, oddly enough, since we were the only helicopter, a television helicopter, we were the only helicopter in Phoenix.
No, you're right, Vaughn. You don't, but they're just pretty much just trying to break it down of his credibility, of his professionalism. That's all. It sucks, but yeah, they're giving an origin story.
As far as forensics, analog probably from 1980 to 1990, and digital from 1990 through current.
How'd you get started in it?
Really by osmosis. I started in the production field. I usually don't do that much TV work anymore. I did shoot part of an episode, a program called Planet Earth for the BBC last year. I don't normally do television anymore. It's just 99% forensics. But I got started because very often, as working in the helicopter, we'd be asked to work for a police department in a rescue or a chase or whatever the situation might be. And since I'd be videotaping it, they would ask me to break it down frame by frame and analyzing it using what's called a time-based corrector in the day. And so word got out that I could do unusual things because I'm pretty good with machines. And it just ended up, more and more people started calling, and it just became a full-time job.
Have you received any professional certifications in forensics?
Yes, but again, most hackers and people who do interesting work don't have any certifications, because the certification is usually like a week-long course. I've been doing this stuff 42 years. My partner, Matt Erickson, he's actually a
Objection, Your Honor, to the partner who's not testifying to
No,
these
right.
qualifications on relevance.
Sustained objection. Yep. Mr. Newmeister, can you just describe which professional certifications you have received?
for cell phones, Oxygen, which is a program similar to Celebrite. But these are programs that are used by law enforcement and by private parties to extract data from cell phones that has been deleted, or which is critical in a lot of cases, deleted data, or just what we call image a cell phone. In other words, get every bit of data that's possible.
Oh, Lord.
Cell phone. And again, every cell phone is different. The next would be in cell tower forensics.
Been telling people that for years. You can delete whatever you want to delete off a phone. It's in your phone still.
IEEE, which is the International Engineering Society.
That's why I started using pigeons now.
Is about 40% of the world's white
Pigeons, you so I care.
So they have a huge database on anything from microwave technology to telephone transmission technology. Anything that I might work with, they might have a white paper on it. Also, with the Audio Engineering Society, AES, I'm a member of that. I lecture to AES. There's a few others, but again, they're just mainly to have a repository of information.
Have you received any honors or awards?
Yes, I've received about 80 honors and awards. I have, for videography, I've got a total of 12 Emmy Award statues, but I've been the principal in 39 Emmy Awards, which means I've written the music for the program, and the program has won the Emmy Award for music, but it was given to the production company, which happens a lot. I won for best editing. I won for best ACE editing, which is computer editing. Best sound. I've done the music to a piece that won the Golden Lion at the Cannes Film Festival. I've done music to a piece that won the gold at the Calgary Film Festival. I've got a lot of awards from Associated Press and different companies from doing documentaries and news.
Have you published any works in the field of digital forensics?
Yes, and they're mostly articles, about a half dozen of them or so. We don't have much time, and I don't usually do it, but it was basically on most of my work deals around clarifying or authenticating. So it was basically the things I published were on clarification of digital files.
Have you appeared on TV as an expert in digital forensics?
Yes,
Where?
CBS, NBC, ABC, BBC,
BBC.
Discovery Channel, a number of different things.
Any particular examples of things that you've spoken on TV about?
Boston bombings, how the frame averaging was done on that, sort of things like that. Again, we get calls a lot, but I don't speak specifically about cases. I just speak about technology.
Have you given any public lectures in the field of digital forensics?
Yes, we get asked quite often, but due to our schedule, it's a little rough. We do what's called Inns of Court. We speak in front of private investigator groups. We do attorneys continuing legal education. Audio Engineering Society. We try to do a few a year, and that's about what our schedules will allow given our time.
Your Honor, at this point, I'd like to tender Mr. Neumeister as an expert in the field of digital forensics.
Any objection?
No objection,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
so.
Overrule.
Mr. Neumeister, turning to the work you've done in this case, what have you done?
I was asked to analyze the photographs of reported injuries to Ms. Heard.
And what was the purpose of that analysis?
To authenticate photos or to review and see if they were altered in any way.
What did you analyze to reach your opinions?
Well, I analyzed groups of photos that were submitted by Ms. Heard's legal team.
What work did you do to analyze those photographs?
Well, normally you start off by looking at what's called the EXIF data. The EXIF data is the binary data that's encoded into a photograph. It tells you, for example, if the flash fired, what the operating software version was of the cell phone or camera that shot a photo, what type of lens was used, what the f-stop was. There's literally about 1,000 lines of code in the EXIF data on a JPEG photo. So we would start with an EXIF editor or an EXIF viewer.
Anything else that you looked at?
Yes, when we're dealing with RGB cameras, which are red, green, and blue channel cameras, which would be a cell phone or a basic home camera. They're based on RGB channels. We would do four types of scopes. We would do a vector scope. We do a luminance scope. We do a waveform scope, and then what's called an RGB parade. And those scopes analyze different things. The vector scope analyzes where the different types of colors are headed in, for example, it's broken up into reds, magenta, different areas on a scope. We would take a look at that to see if there's anything out of the normal for the type of camera being used. In other words, would there be above a certain percentage of chroma? And chroma means color saturation.
Objection, Your Honor. Outside the scope, we can approach.
All right,
Like,
want to approach?
Can we get the camera on them? They are. It's like 5 minutes.
I think VA just for having too much internet confliction with all the storms they've been having. Too.
Yeah, but they call them. I get that part. They call them up to the front though. It's like he just 5 minutes in the chair. I don't know. For some reason, I hear the Benny Hill Billy song. Yeah,
I can't play with you today.
that's what I'm hearing right now. Let's ask the man a question. Something.
They don't want to though. They want to keep everybody quiet. So Amber could.
That lady got like 30 minutes left. She better use her time, utilize her time well.
They wasting it with objections.
It's not going nowhere.
Or does this time count?
That is a good question. I don't know. I don't know how they do the stop clock. It's like what? So when I talk, then the clock starts. The clock stops when I stop talking. How did that work? Is it video game rules to this? Is it online game? Is it not online game? Is it free to play? Like I don't know. That poor man is in that chair just chilling. Like yo, even the therapist. I feel bad for the therapist. Like
Mr. Newmeister,
all right,
based
there we
on
go.
the
Good stuff.
analysis you performed in this case, have you formed any opinions?
Pardon?
Based on the analysis you've done in this case, have you formed any opinions?
Yes.
What are they?
Well, three basic ones. One is quite a number of the photos have been through a photo, and at least one, possibly two.
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation, which photos is he referring to? We have to go through this one by one.
One's in evidence.
Mr. Newmeister, in terms of the photos that you looked at and that you formed opinions about, do you understand if they've been submitted as evidence in this case?
Yes.
Okay. And what conclusions have you formed about those?
Same objection, Your Honor. That doesn't cure the issue of the objection. We have to go through this. Which photos is she talking about? Which one's in evidence? What exhibit numbers? That's the basis of the
You're
objection.
talking generally about opinions right now, Your Honor, and we're going to get into some specifics.
Oh, that sound like my talking. Generalization, people. Generalization.
Right, the picture's already in evidence, so you submitted it as evidence. What he finna say about this picture? Come through, forensic scientist.
It's like I'm just here.
He said, well, y'all finished playing games. They ain't gonna change what I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Newmeister, have you prepared a demonstrative that aids in your testimony with respect to any
Hey.
photos that you looked at in this case?
Yes.
Jay, this is not a chill channel, sir. It's not a chill channel. Vaughn, if you like, sir, give your email out in the chat. Jay Takashi, don't do that. Appreciate you. Okay, now to meter them again. Then we're back up talking in front. All right, but while they're doing that, we're going to talk about just a brief conversation about YouTube etiquettes. Jay Takashi, Vaughn, we're all cool. Jay, you can always hit me up on the network of people here because we pretty much know each other. You can hit me up in the Instagram. I have Vaughn Bryant's email. As many times as Vaughn Bryant has been on your channel stream, we could have had contact information. Let's not try to do that in the chat, please. Let's not try to do that in the chats. And shout out to the Great Bill
Can you
Podcast.
pull up Defendant's Exhibit 170A, which has been admitted into evidence? Mr. Newmeister, does this photo appear to be one that you have analyzed as part of your analysis in this case?
There were many versions of this photo. I would say there were dozens of different versions with different chromatic values, different file sizes, different physical sizes. Some had been through Photos 1 or Photos 3, which are photo editing software programs.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to show Mr. Newmeister's.
Oh, he said she faked the evidence.
All right, any other objection?
I would object again, Your Honor, because the photograph in 170A is not in evidence. Or, yeah, I mean, the photograph is in evidence.
Can't even get your story straight.
Photographs he wishes to show the jury are in evidence.
1303 is in evidence over objection. I'm not in evidence, I'm sorry, as a demonstrative.
Just as a demonstrative.
I'm sorry.
Can we go to
Published in
1303, please? And Mr. Newmeister, what does this demonstrative show about the photos that you analyzed?
Well, they appear to be similar. However, if you look below at the file sizes, one on the left is 712 kilobytes.
Mm-hmm.
One in the middle is 489 kilobytes. And the one on the right is 524 kilobytes. Now, what's unusual about that is these photos will not digitally fingerprint with each other. They won't hash. In other words, forensically, they don't match. But the thing is, you could say, well, it was sent through email. Maybe it's a different size. The file sizes, for example, would be possibly, you can select the file size, you send a photo, but there's no way to authenticate any photo that was presented in the way the evidence was collected.
And so what conclusions do you draw from that?
Well, this is just 3 of many of the same type of photos that are all different sizes and have different chromatic, which means color.
Objection, Your Honor. We just had a ruling on this.
All right, sustained objection.
Mr. Newmaster, stick to your opinions specifically to what you analyzed about the EXIF data, please.
All 3 of these photos had to go through some type of transformation to change sizes.
We can take that one down. You mentioned photos 1.5 and photos 3.0 earlier, I believe.
Photos.
What is that?
Photos 3 and Photos 1.5 are editing programs that Macintosh or Apple put out with their product. It's for editing photos. In other words, you would put a photo in and you would change the colors, or you would crop it, or you would clarify it by enhancing, for example, the sharpening, or you could darken it. But when you save a photo through an editing program, you leave a mark on the EXIF data.
And what is the EXIF data?
The EXIF data is the data that is embedded in a photograph that tells you a lot about the photograph. And again, in the early days when we were using film cameras, you would write down the f-stop, which is the light setting. You would write the type of lens you use, the time of day, the type of film stock, the type of filters you're using. Now with digital cameras, that's done electronically. And there's about 1,000 lines of code, of which 50 are probably important, that tell you what the camera was doing.
So what's the significance of EXIF data in your photo analysis?
Well, in this situation, I can see that normally where the operating system of the camera would be, which means the version that the operating system the phone is running on, it would normally say something like, I'll just throw out an arbitrary number, 9.1.3 operating system for iOS, which is Apple's iPhone operating system. Instead of saying that, it says software Photos 3.0 or Photos 1.0. That means that the photo had to be rendered, which means composited together in an editing program.
Did you prepare a demonstrative that shows some of your analysis of some of the EXIF data of the photos in this case?
Yes, I did.
Okay, can we pull up 1304, please? Your Honor, may I approach? You okay? Permission to publish as a demonstrative, Your Honor.
Any objection? Any objection, Mr.
I'm sorry,
Murphy?
Your Honor. My
She wishes
co-counsel's
to
talking.
publish
I'm so
it
sorry.
as a demonstrative.
No objections demonstrative.
All right, thank you. We'll publish it as 1304, just as a demonstrative.
And Mr. Newmeister, are these images in this demonstrative excerpts from the report you prepared in this case?
Yes, they are.
And what do they show?
On this particular photo, and on all of them, it shows the first few lines of EXIF data, the ones that would be most important for this photograph. So, for example, things you would see, the very top line would be the make of phone. It's an Apple iPhone 6. And then the resolution is 72 pixels per inch, 72:1. And instead, where it says software on a normal iPhone photo,
they're debunking it.
3, it would say the software version, for example, 9.3.1. And then you've got the date and the time of the photo below that, and which is really easy to change in an EXIF editor. And below that, you have things like the like the flash. You've got the exposure type, how long the exposure was. So what you just highlighted there again was the date and time. So that's universal time code minus whatever area you're in the world.
Anything else you want to show us with this demonstrative?
Yeah, just below that, if you look, there's some things that would say, for example, a directly photographed image, that is not going to be necessarily accurate once it's been through an editor. It will always pretty much say that. So when you're looking at scene type or auto exposure, these are things that that really don't matter all that much. What would matter is, for example, if you're taking notes, the focal length would be important. The pattern of metering, things like that to a photographer would be important. And again, this is just a few lines, and the reason I put these in there was just to explain a bit what EXIF data is. The actual thing I'm trying to point out is the fact that instead of an operating system, it shows the editing program that was used on this photo.
Are there additional photos that you did this analysis for?
Yes, many.
Can we scroll to the next page, please, Tom?
Mm.
Is there anything about this photo that you noted as part of your analysis, Mr. Newmeister?
Yes, again, it's you know, right there, you've got photos 3.0 on that particular photo. And I think, you know, we pretty much covered what the stuff is, but again, you see the photos 3.0. And again, this could not come out of an iPhone this way. This would go into a computer, be edited, and rendered through the photo editor. And this would then be embedded in the EXIF data.
Oh.
Do you have other photos in this demonstrative?
Yes.
All right, can we scroll to the next page?
Same thing. You've got up here in the top, you've got the photos 3.0, and this is throughout a lot of the photos that are in evidence, or versions of the photos in evidence, were gone through photos 3.0 or photos 1.5, an earlier version.
Can we scroll to the next page, please, Tom? And what about this one?
Same thing, photos 3.0. And again, in a photo editing app, you can do an awful lot of things. So when you see photos 3.0, first of all, you know it's not anywhere near an original. There's going to be compression artifacts because it's a JPEG file.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Can we move on to the next page of this demonstrative,
Oh.
please?
And again, same thing. You've got the photos app.
Okay. And I believe there's one final photo in this demonstrative. What about this one?
Again, if you look up there, it says photos 3.0 on that particular photo.
All right, we can take that one down. Your Honor, I have a little bit left. I don't know if you wanted to.
All right, you want to take our afternoon? Let's go ahead and take our afternoon recess. Just do not discuss the case and don't do any outside research. Thank you.
Tell us how long? After 15 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour?
They gonna let that ruminate in the jury's head that all them fake pictures is fake.
I'm glad. Now, see, I just wish we could have led with that, but this is making it so much easier now. It's like that little icing on the cake.
Come back at 4 o'clock. All right.
4 o'clock. Hold on, what time is it? An hour from them? So it's 3. Okay, cool. 20, about less than 20 minutes.
I'm
so glad they broke that down. So glad they broke that down. Oh, man. Shout out to Virginia. Yeah. My thoughts on the whole situation. I'm very pleased of everything else transpired right now. It's like you know when photos is fake, but you just don't know photos is fake.
You do if you go to forensics science.
Unfortunately, I did not go. I just had a very good hunch on my own that it was doctorate pictures, and because of how she carried herself, I was like, the vibes of evidence was there, but clearly that's not enough for court. So I'm glad that actually got broke down.
Yes,
And
I mean,
I learned a lot.
You're so silly.
I learned a lot.
Listen, go to school for forensics. This is like super intriguing. I don't know. I always have found the evidence that they are able to pull from these cell phones and from the towers and everything else when people are lying about what it is that they're saying and doing in court to be absolutely phenomenal. You're not getting away with anything anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Be very clear and intentional with every text and every call because you never know when they're going to take your phone, broken, old, and dismantle the whole thing. Plus, your internet provider keeps it all too. Patriot Act. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's looking real bad for her. What you thinking? Because the TMZ people done put her on blast too. Talk about that edited video.
I didn't like how they try to come up with man earlier. I don't know, everybody just throwing jabs left and right. I mean, it is what it is, but that was a low blow just to even make a comment. Terms of, hey, so you just here to get your 15 minutes of 15 minutes of fame? No, I'm here because I got asked a question, and I'm just what I'm here for. So you know that just as well I know that. And better yet, I can give you 15 minutes of fame too if I was in there sitting in the seat where you and ever heard. That had me laughing because I even the crowd even got little chuckles out of that one too.
Yeah, but that that exchange, as entertaining as it was, speaks to the lack of respect for Amber Heard's defense. Amber Heard's defense is looked at like a whole joke. Have you ever seen anybody talk to opposing counsel like that in a court?
No, no. I'm gonna be honest. I did, but I was actually exiting out on a traffic violation a decade ago. I already paid the ticket, but I was making sure, like, hey, the judge said something slick. I'm already out the door, about to shut it. Yeah, me too. Boom. I ran out. That's as far as that gonna ever go. But nothing this dramatic. I enjoyed it. Please let this be the last day. Please let this be the last day. Shout out to Bernard. He says, my best friend works for Canon. He is a beast. He have shot a lot of weddings together, and he is something like this guy. Seriously, yeah, bro. When you know what you know, you're just not taking pictures. Because a few buddies I know, they're hobby guys. They just take photos. They know about the certain lenses, but the stuff that what you're saying about your friend and this expert, that's on a whole other level. Because I did not know if you take an actual picture from your phone, that's a digital footprint on itself. Then I can take said picture, transfer over to Rob B. Then that's become another slash type of digital footprint, but it won't be similar to the original. And then she can take it and say, you know what, this look like trash. Let me crop it. Let me put some filters on it. You know what? And just you ugly because I've been knowing I've been ugly for a long time. I know it. I know it. So take
Who's
that picture.
ugly?
I am. I'm hurt. I'm Frodo.
What?
So I'm Smeagol, my bad. So I'm just looking for my ring. So take then she'll take the pictures, photo, crop it, edit it, and then she'll upload it to her end. That's a whole nother type of footprint. It's not the original. So my picture actually taken from a phone. Then you got the screenshots. Let's say we'll just throw out there a screenshot from your PlayStation. You take a screenshot from there. That's original. That's your original. Then I'll drag it over. Somebody crop that, drag it over. Another one, drag it over. So that is very, very that's good news. I didn't know that. I just figure if you screenshot it, that's what it is. As long as you don't put no filters on it, I'm gonna be honest. I figure if you take a picture or you crop something out or of any image, that was like your original image. I didn't know when you crop something or if I take a picture of a picture, that's a whole nother type of footprint or excuse me, digital fingerprint of itself. Then he broke it down too. Like I was like, what? I was looking at I'm thinking of file sizes. When he showed that, I was like, oh, maybe because the file got shrunk and whatever. Hey, Miss Creative, right on time. Right on time. We're giving like a little we got like what 10 minutes intermission, so we're waiting on them to come on back. They had some good conversations. They had a representative from TSZ come on. I don't know if you caught that. They had just spoke to Johnny Depp. That's what we chimed in on. interviewing him a little bit, and then they had the expert come in. The guy from TMZ had a conversation with him that got a little bit like Robbie said, spicy. So that was pretty fun. And then we had the last guy, the expert witness. So they're not done with him yet. So they just went through the whole origin story. Shout out to Vaughn. They did the little origin story about his background just to make sure if he's qualified just to be an expert witness. And now here we are.
Waiting patiently.
Hey, Miss Creative, how was your fasting? I wanted to ask you about that. I don't think he was on yesterday because I think you said the day before. I mean, Robbie was munching up. I think you said you was fasting for that day. So how'd that go? And shout out to you, Bernard. How's everybody doing in the chat?
Hey, the Miss Creative. I need to fast right now.
I've been a bad weather on my end. Just I heard it this morning. I put the alarm clock. I put the phone like in 6 feet away from me. I said, if that alarm go off, I know I got to go get it. That's the ultimate wake up.
That is funny. I'm over here like waiting for today's court case to be over because I could politely get in the bed and go to sleep.
Big facts. Big facts. I got, for some reason, I don't know. I haven't had that breakfast. I got a taste for some grits, some bacon, some scrambled eggs. That's what I got a taste for.
Dang. All right, then. You need the pancakes too, though.
I don't have no pancakes. That's a soul separate breakfast. If I have pancakes, it's gonna be pancakes, bacon, scrambled eggs, or sub out the bacon for sausage, smoked sausage. That's pretty much me. Oh, since we got the intermission, any geek fans out there? So we got a slew of stuff coming out the ending of this month. We got Obi-Wan this Friday. I think it's 2 episodes. We have Stranger Things new seasons coming out and Netflix. I'm trying to think of anything I missed. Oh yeah, The Boys is coming out in June. That's my lineup. So anybody got any favorite shows or movies? Bring it up to the table. She said. I'm still detoxing. I be hungry, but it's still going. But okay, you detoxing. So what are you taking? Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 6-1, but I decided that's the day we're gonna do it. 6-1, we're gonna do the recap on The Boys to get you guys all ready for season 3 of
next week Wednesday. All right. Any time frame? Time frame next week Wednesday, so I can get the call out to everybody.
7 p.m.
Okay. Eastern, Pacific, Central.
Central.
All right, Central. 7 p.m. Central next Wednesday. We'll be doing the recap of The Boys. Not here though. That's over Robbie privilege.
Yes, and since I love your thumbnails so much, I would be so honored if you did the thumbnails for the show. Yes.
Shout out to Mara Gangs.
By your grace.
By your grace. Sure. Thank you. I put a lot of effort in them thumbnails. So I said, okay, this is gonna be a good one.
Yes, Lord.
All right. So the Boys thumbnail. All right.
Marvelous Geeks. Get it to it.
Yep. What's that? What's that? Bernard said you just named them. Okay, cool. All right. Shout out to you, Vaughn. I appreciate you. And again, like she said before, the invitation is still open, man. Watch it, recap, and we have that conversation on June the 1st. It's next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Boom. We'll be putting a call out for everybody so we get this conversation going. I don't need no notes. When I dive into some shows I know, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it.
Yes.
Hey, just tell me, just be honest. Just that's a whole new personality I got over there on Robbie. So if you need to tell me to shut the boop up, trust me, I will. So I might just go a little bit over mode with the conversation talk on that type of conversation rhetoric. So I will not take offense and just say, shh, shh, shh. Let everybody else get a time.
Oh nah, I'm gonna let you live because I like that type of energy when we talk about those type of shows. It's not gonna be like the dry conversations people are used to having. It's gonna be actually something engaging.
Okay, I'm welcome to it. All right.
Yes. You
Shout
can
out to
act a whole fool, I promise you.
Okay, I'm down for it. Shout out to Lucky Marie. Hey, Lucky Marie, if you're down for next Wednesday, not here, if you free time, I don't know if you're a geek person. I know you always talk about finances. I'm going to go ahead and just slowly promote it while we're waiting to stuff to transpire. I did get your message on the back end, so just waiting for Minka to respond to that. What else? Yeah, so next week, Wednesday, on our Robbie Privilege, we'll be having I'm calling it's her thing, but it's like a Marvelous Geek. We'll be doing a premiere recap of The Boys. So that's from season 1 to season 2. If you have that extra time to watch the animated chronicles of it, and we will be having that conversation. So if you're a fan of just sci-fi periods or just a little bit of some gore, that is a great show to watch. If you like the anti version of the superhero, meaning that they're not all like capes and moralities, there you go.
Yes, the multiverse energy.
Yep. Thank you, Miss Creative. I'll tell people, and I tell people I'm so vanilla, like I'm just chill. But I think I guess I'm the jack of all trades on certain things. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm pretty much a chill, laid back guy. Unless it's actually something to conversate about, I'm good. But don't put me into the levels of Einstein, and I'm going to learn every encyclopedia definition. That's just not me. I'm just too. I say I'm in the modern time cowboyish walk of life. That's me. But I appreciate you. Oh, if you didn't check out, I'm not 100% sure, Miss Creative. If you checked out the boys panel early, that was yesterday, where we talked about betting, that was actually a really good conversation. The chat was lit, and that was a really good conversation. So, me and Mika gonna see if we can have another topic going on for this Saturday to keep it more interesting with the girls and guys. So, but if y'all have suggestions, the link and everything is there for the DMs, emails, all the good stuff. Let us know. Shout out to Bernard. He said the animated series was really good for the boys. It really was. It really was. I was kind of the baby one. It threw me off because I guess I took it as maybe they just want to get the worst out the way first, and after that it just went straight overdrive with the rest of the Chronicle series. So I'm really pleased with it. Really pleased with it. Speaking of Miss Creative, because you said you use detoxing. So what did you use to detox with? Was you just doing like just lemon water, some like people have like the actual water, which is like the berries and the strawberries inside of it, and mint leaves. Just drink it from there. What's another way of detoxing? I know Robbie got her little thoughts on that one too.
Cranberry juice.
Thank you.
Cranberries.
Grapefruit juice, but I say natural grapefruit juice is another. Is that another form of detoxing?
Because
I know people had the grapefruit diet back in the day. I don't know if they're still on it. Everybody seems like they're about that keto.
Yeah, everybody is kind of about that keto. Cabbage is a good diet too.
Oh, nice. Now, how would you recommend preparing your cabbages? Because you know how some other folks said they want to throw everything in it.
Honestly, I use a little bit of sad salt for the vegetables. You know what I'm saying? I use a little liquid smoke. And yeah, that's kind of it. Some tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it light and let it just simmer down. I don't do all that extra stuff. That's not necessary.
Yeah. Oh, and Miss Creative, not saying that you don't, but since we're in a conversation, portion control is also a best key. So even if you're eating the healthy stuff too, portion control helps a lot.
Portion control is always my decline because it's my downfall. Because if I like something and something tastes good, baby, I'll make me a little plate and I'll be like, oh, exactly. Let me go ahead and get another one.
You know what? Respect to you because like I'm cooking, I like to put my whole, not the pinky toe, I like to put the whole foot in it. So I'm just when I'm cooking, I'm always sampling and sampling and sampling. And then it's like, this is good. I pretty much almost have me a whole little saucer or plate cup full of it. Shout out to TC said the best diet is eating right for your blood type. That is correct. And you have to, and also to add to that, TC, people need to do their homework on what's best for them too, not to overthink it. Because if you overthink it, you will be lost. And
ATC.
Ms. Creative said, I had COVID CV-19 and I am trying to get back to normal. Totally understand that. I was in the same, I don't know your whole predicament, but I was in that little round where CV-19 hit bad for me. So pretty much I got lazy. I gained like 30, 35 pounds. I pretty much was home because at the first beginning of it, what everybody do, just home and sit chill. It was more on social media than ever, right? And then yeah, so at that point, it pretty much just like when after a year later, got out a little bit, did a little bit of walking, just baby steps to trying to get it right. I knew the right thing to do, but my mind and the motivation wasn't working together. So I had to like kind of work the baby steps, and that's it. So if you everybody's out now, mask or no mask, my suggestion for anybody: start actively walking, whether you're power walking, whether you're slow walking. Try to grab some little weights or something with you. Definitely have your water. Do not overhydrate because overhydrating is be harmful for you too. Portion control and the right things to eat towards your diet. Shout out to TC, got the number, Ron. Hey, shout out to you again. Bernard's, what do you got to say? He said eating, cook, kill, and we speak in half of a gallon of water every day. But I took some time to get that. Yeah, it takes time, bro. And hey, no pause, no homo. You like you're in great shape, bro. Great shape. I didn't see I didn't see no Santa belly on you. So you're in great shape.
Yeah, that's funny.
What they call the dad bod.
Yes.
You need to break that down. You know what? I don't think there's a problem with the dad bod because like most people got the definition of my definition of a dad bod is like you're for the guys. It's like you got the gut, but it's not like hanging out beer belly. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's not the beer belly gut's not a dad bod. Dad bod is like, hey, I got a shape. It's not overweight. It's not big. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some dad bods is just like just like one guy, a good brother of mine. I consider him like a father figure back in the day. He lift weights, but he just only lift weights, but he doesn't work out more his core. So his stomach just like is still like kind of loose. You know what I'm saying? But you see him just looking just brolic when he's walking. So I think he skipped the crap out legs day too.
I don't know. I mean, you over here talk about some you Frodo and stuff, but you need to be doing some fitness classes for some of these people.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready. No, it's actually cool just to give out that information because that's
You ready for the jury?
Oh, here we go.
Yes, may we approach for just one moment? Okay.
They're taking their sweet time. But what I'm doing, yeah, it just like I said, I guess pretty much the steps that Bernard was talking about, the steps that I learned, and then I took my journey and moving forward with there. So, and I could relate because I'd rather deal with the basics.
That's true, but I saw a little bit of your journey, probably because I was being super nosy. Sorry, that's what I do. I mean,
it's kind of public.
You didn't even really have a dad bod, but your body's pretty cut. I see you do a lot of whey protein. I mean, doesn't that taste like kind of bad though? Isn't it gritty?
No, it depends on what you're getting. Because I like just not too long ago, I had like a fruit smoothie, and for the protein, I use the actually peanut butter powder, where you can actually mix up in water and make your own peanut butter.
I'm sorry.
But I just mix it up in the smoothie just to make it a little bit more thicker.
Okay. Learn something new every day.
I don't know what BBWSs mean, QB, but shout out to you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Do you like your women BBWs?
I'm an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, see? I cannot. Johnny Depp is kind of short.
You're waiting on all the jury. They're waiting on the jury. Shout out everybody for coming in. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely likes.
Next
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Mr. Newmeister, do you have another demonstrative prepared that shows a photo with EXIF data reflecting that it was saved in Photos 3?
Correct. Photos 3, yes.
Your Honor, we have a video of these photos, and we're happy to play it once so that council can review, if that's all right.
Okay.
Guys, it's straight out the gate.
Yeah, TC. It's called B19. I think it is because I still have it. Just Google it real quick. It's like a little container. You can actually put in water, mix it up, and like make your own little peanut butter. But if you want it, you can use that as a substitute in your smoothies for added protein. Shout out to Robbie because she says all the time, pretty much information is power. If you're eating one thing, ask yourself, what's a healthier way of what I'm eating now? And if you do your homework just a little bit on finding healthier ways to the stuff you eat, it will blow your mind.
Thanks.
I'm not sick anymore.
We got some good conversation going on in here. Bernard, real talk, man. I'm so ready for this to be over, bro. I know something else gonna stir up after this trial is over, but I'm just ready for this to be over.
We are sleepy, Johnny one.
Take it in your pocket. Okay. Like, another piece of candy.
Right, candy. That's exactly what I was saying.
Piece of candy.
All right, we took care of that, Your Honor. Thank you. May we publish, or would you like to see it?
Okay. And what's demonstrative business going to be then?
This is plaintiff's 1305, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Anytime now.
Could you play it?
Yes, Judge. Anytime now.
All right. So 13, marked as plaintiff's 1305 and used as demonstrative. You can publish the jury.
Anytime now.
Mr. Newmeister, we're going to go ahead and play the demonstrative that you prepared, and then after the jury's had a chance to see it, if you want to explain to them what the demonstrative shows, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't like her face. Oh.
So, Mr. Newmeister, what was depicted in that video?
The same photo treated two different ways. One was marked with the original with the operating system from an iPhone, which is iOS 9.3.1 on that particular photo. The one, this is 9.3.1. There is a graphic below indicating it. The second photo is marked photos 3, and it looks quite a bit different.
And just, Tom, could we pull up defendant 708?
Where's that feedback? Is that coming from their mics from the in the court?
Mr. Neumeister, does the image in defendant 708 appear to be similar, same photo as what was depicted in your demonstrative?
I hear
Actually, it's the photos 3.0.
sound like pages turning. That's what I hear. Like pages something.
Take that one down, Tom.
It was like a little whistle, but I'll keep an eye out for it.
Mr. Neumeister, have you also formed an opinion about defendants exhibits 712 and 713?
Correct.
Did you prepare a demonstrative that shows? I can show you if you'd like, Your Honor.
Anytime. Anytime now.
All right, could we pull up plaintiff's exhibit 1306, Tom? And Your Honor, this is another video that, can you pause that, please? This is another video that we prepared. It's not published yet, so I'm happy to play it once through. So that.
I would just request what exhibits are they? Sorry, Your Honor. What exhibits are these that are in this video? It doesn't say. I don't know.
Yeah, I tried to get my question out a moment ago. Defendant 712 and 713, Your Honor.
Okay, 1306 then will be a demonstrative as identified in public.
And if we could go ahead and play that, please. Tom?
There we go.
Oh no.
And Mr. Neumeister, what's your, what do we see here in this demonstrative?
Somebody playing the victim?
There's exhibit 712, I believe you have. I'm not sure the dates number, 712 and 713. They're two separate exhibits, except it's the exact same photograph that's been, one's been edited, one hasn't. Or I can't say that one hasn't, but the colors have been modified in an editor.
Objection, Your Honor. Beyond the scope of your ruling, talking about colors. It keeps happening.
Beyond the scope of shit. Oh,
the colors.
Mr. Neumeister, did you form an opinion in this case about the authenticity of the photos that you reviewed of Ms. Heard?
Well, first of all, nobody can identify the authenticity of the photos, of any of the photos. Marked photos 3, photos 1, or just marked with the operating system number. And the reason is the manner of collection. So these came from an iTunes backup. Now, what is an iTunes backup?
Objection, Your Honor. I'm sorry. You're beyond the scope of your ruling. EXIF metadata. This keeps happening.
Your Honor, may I approach on this one?
what? This is a forensic sciences. This is why I cannot deal with these people. I can't deal with stupidity. That is literally the scope of his profession, to look at the metadata. Are you okay?
Look at her. Look at her.
She's like, I'm busted, but I have to pretend like I'm sad.
That, and she fingers crossed. Hey, let this BS go through. Let this BS pass through.
Oh, she's smiling and laughing. That's not a good look for her.
No, because she's trying to play the part like Johnny. Johnny being cool and collected the whole time through. She's been psycho-ish the whole beginning.
Look at him looking at her like, you stupid hoe.
So, Mr. Neumeister, without going into the specifics, what's your opinion about the authenticity of the photos you received from Ms. Hurd?
No, make it a
Based on the way they were
fact.
collected, there would be
Objection, Your Honor. We just ruled on this.
I framed my question, I thought, Your Honor, to avoid the issue that you're concerned about. Mr. Neumeister, what's your opinion about the authenticity here?
There's no way for any forensic expert to validate any of these photos.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
They invalid, hoe.
Good afternoon, Mr. Neumeister.
Good afternoon.
I tried.
Your only degree is in political science, correct?
42 years ago, correct.
And you have no degree whatsoever from any academic institution in computer science, correct?
That's correct.
And you have no certifications in computer forensics, correct?
That's correct.
What's your point?
He still showed that your shit is fake. I mean, that your pictures are fake.
From the opinions you've testified today, you relied on no data except for the embedded EXIF metadata to support those opinions, correct?
Incorrect.
What other data did you rely on for the opinions?
I can't talk about it. You say it's not about scope.
Explain.
Yep.
You kept it.
What other data did you rely on for the actual opinions?
Who are you
been able
talking to like
testify
that?
today, besides EXIF metadata?
The type of extraction that was performed? You're asking the question.
For the
of
actual
that.
opinions you testified to.
That is what I would use. I would also use vector scopes.
Objection, Your Honor. That's
You objected to your own question, baby.
Like this is
No, you see it just laughing at him like you
circus. Yeah, this is a circus.
All he can do is laugh like, I'm trying to tell you, you don't want me to testify what I use and how I do what I do, but okay. And I know the judge is like, you objected, but you asking him the same question. So do you not want the jury to know how smart he is? Intelligence is a scary thing to people.
Pardon?
You can answer the question.
Can you restate the question?
I don't recall a question, Your Honor.
What the?
Your Honor, maybe we could have the court reporter read it back.
They could redirect.
But no. Okay, what was the question, Judy?
I believe the question was, what methodology did I use to make my findings?
Judy's voice has changed.
Oh,
Sorry.
Is that correct, Judy? Okay.
Come on, Judy.
That's fine. Okay.
So when you're analyzing video or photo, in this
Objection to
case,
video, Your Honor. That's beyond the scope.
what?
All right, if you could just answer the question, sir.
when you're analyzing a photo, a digital photo, you look at the EXIF data, you use a vector scope, you can use a Pantone chart if that's available, and that should be done, but that's a whole different deal. If I go into that, you'll object to it. So you also use a waveform scope. You would use an RGB parade. You can use a histogram, though in this case, it's not really all that relevant.
You are not offering any opinions that any photograph in this case was intentionally modified by Ms. Hurd, correct?
I'm just stating the fact that photographs were modified.
But so you are not offering any opinion that any photograph in this case was intentionally modified by Ms. Hurd, correct?
That's correct.
Can you please pull up Exhibit 170A?
Is that defendants 170?
Defendants 170, yes, Your Honor. So you offer testimony regarding this photograph during the direct examination, right, Mr. Neumeister?
There's
That's a yes or no, sir.
of a photograph like that. I don't exactly remember the photograph. There's so many different versions of this photograph, but yes, I talked about that particular photograph.
On,
It's
do
a
you
shame.
recall being deposed in this matter?
Yes,
You were under oath?
yes,
And that was on April 6, 2022?
I believe.
May I approach Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I got copies. All right. We get a copy too? All right, everybody get copies.
So, Mr. Neumeister, if you could please turn to page 76. And when I say pages, those are the little pages in the 4 boxes, not the page
Gotcha.
at the top. And do you see page 76, line 3? You were asked on April 6, anywhere in your April 1st, 2022 expert disclosure, do you offer any opinions regarding the authenticity or lack of authenticity of the specific photograph produced as ALH 7101? Response, can I refer to my report to see if that specific number is in the report? Yes. Response, not that specific photo. I just grabbed 3 out of the batch. Do you see that?
Yes,
Can you please pull up Exhibit 517 or Defendants 517?
Thank you.
You are not offering any opinions regarding this specific photograph, right, Mr. Neumeister?
that's correct. My testimony's been limited here.
And you are not offering any opinion that any photograph was visually doctored by Amber, correct?
Not by, I can't put the person who might have done it.
Well, you're not offering an opinion that a photo was visually doctored by anybody, are you?
I'd have to see each photo. There's no way to authenticate any of these photos based on what I received.
Hmm.
So you testified about Photos 3. Do you recall that testimony?
Correct.
Yeah, Photos 3 is a photo editing and photo sorting application, correct?
It's a photo editor and photo sorter, as are a number of editors.
So when you reference Photos 3.0, you never did any independent strike that, Your Honor. So when the software of a photograph in the EXIF metadata says Photos 3.0, that could be just saying that the photo was saved in Photos 3.0, correct?
Unless you looked at a scope of the photos, that would tell you that the parameters of the photo do not meet that of the cell phone that it was taken on.
But the notation Photos 3.0 in the software EXIF metadata, that does not in and of itself mean that the photo was edited in Photos 3.0, correct?
It means that you've recompressed the photo and it will not hash or digitally fingerprint with the original photo.
But it does not mean in and of itself that it was visually edited in any way in Photos 3.0, correct?
Again, it's not the same photo because you're using lossy compression once you save it. So you have changed the photo.
So if you could please turn to page 233 of that transcript. And line 20, do you see question? When it says exit software, okay, Photos 3.0, on to 234. That's just saying it was saved in Photos 3.0, right? Response, saved in 3.0, that's correct. Question, that notation in and of itself does not mean that the photo was edited in 3.0, right? Answer, that's correct. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
A file has not changed visually just because it has been processed through Photos 3.0, correct?
That's incorrect.
Can you look at page 128 of your deposition, please? At the bottom, line 20, question, you see, question, but the file changed visually just because it has been processed through Photos 3.0. Answer, obviously I understand what you're asking. From a technical point, yes, because of the compression. You get down to scopes and artifacts, yes, it has changed. Was it intentionally changed? We don't know. In other words, did somebody save it in there and just save the photo? We don't know. Did I read that correctly?
That's correct. But again, it says here.
That was my question, Mr. Neumeister.
Okay.
Calm down, buddy.
So if the EXIF metadata software field lists the software as iOS, you have no reason to dispute that, correct?
Incorrect.
Well, isn't data data? That's what you testified to, right?
It's very simple to modify EXIF data.
Did you find any evidence in this case of actual modification of EXIF metadata?
You can't authenticate any of these photos because of the way they were.
That wasn't my question, Mr. Newmeister. Did you find any evidence of any modification of EXIF metadata of any photograph in this case?
You didn't listen to my answer. My answer is there is no way to know because of the way the files were presented.
So you found no actual evidence of it, correct?
That no one could.
I'm not
either
asking
way.
if anyone else could, Mr. Newmeister. I'm asking, did you yourself you found no evidence of any modification of EXIF metadata of any photograph in this case, correct?
Now, I understand trying to control the narrative, but there's no way to answer that scientifically because given the evidence we were given, there is no way to positively or negatively answer that. It's not a question that can be answered.
It is a question, Mr. Newmeister. The question is, did you yourself, you found no affirmative evidence of any modification of software EXIF metadata of any photograph in this case, correct? You found no actual evidence of that, did you?
No one could tell either way because.
I'm not asking about anyone else, Mr. Newmeister. I'm asking about you. Did you found no evidence of that, did you?
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
He's not answered what he found, Your Honor.
Overruled.
There's not a way to answer that the way you're asking the question. You have to restate it. You're trying to control
Your Honor,
the
he's not
narrative.
responding to the question.
Could you just answer yes or no, sir, to the question?
It's not a yes or no question.
Did you, yes or no, you found no.
Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to him like he a
EXIF
child?
metadata modification of any photograph in this case, correct?
That's incorrect.
Okay. It is your opinion that the metadata of all photographs of purported injuries that Ms. Heard has identified as her trial exhibits do not indicate that the photographs went through a photo editing application, correct?
Well, first of all, that's not a yes or no question because a lot of the exhibits that you have put up, they're not photographs. They're screen grabs, and they've been changed from a Apple format, which is JPEG, JPEG, to a JPG Microsoft format. So you have actually changed the exemplars. You've changed the data yourselves. We actually ran EXIF data on some of your own examples that you've entered in the evidence. They are not photos from an iPhone. Those were edited in on a PC.
I'm going to hand up a page from your disclosure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So do you see on page 8 of your disclosure, Mr. Newmeister, it states, quote, the metadata of all of the photographs of purported injuries that Ms. Heard has identified as her trial exhibits do not indicate that the photographs went through a photo editing application. Did I read that correct?
That's correct.
No
But
further-
we're talking
no
EXIF
further
data.
questions, Your Honor.
All right, redirect.
Mr. Newmeister,
Yes.
a moment ago, Mr. Murphy was asking you some questions about your opinion about the trial exhibits that Ms. Heard has offered in this matter. And he asked you about your opinion that they don't indicate that they've gone through a photo editing application. What can you tell us about that?
Well, first of all, in this last exhibit, it says metadata, not EXIF data. So that's two different things altogether. We're talking EXIF data. And on the report, I put metadata because I was requested to cover meta and EXIF data. So it's taken out of context. The EXIF data is the data based that's embedded in the photo. Metadata can be the file data about the file itself, two different things. So the way the data was collected, it was an iTunes backup is a backup.
Objection, Your Honor. Backups outside the scope of Your Honor's ruling beyond exit metadata.
I think you opened the door on the.
I overruled the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Go ahead, Brian.
An iTunes backup is only a backup of things that are on an iPhone that have not been deleted. It does not have the critical operating system. It doesn't have any of the files that would validate the path of a photograph in that phone. It does not have a lot of the log files. It does not have the Knowledge C database, which talks about usage of the phone and the patterns of how data was handled. All it is the photos you decided to save, not the photos you deleted. So it's a very limited database. Without the system registry or without the system operating system, there's no way to tell, because it's very easy to modify a photo on a phone and have it just read iOS 9.3.1. But with the actual phone, if you were able to get a hold of the actual phone, and in 95% of all cases we work, we have the actual phones. It doesn't matter if the phones are 10 years old or 20 years old, or not 20 years old, but 10 years old. The reason is if people have something they want to keep as evidence, they don't throw out their phones. They don't recycle their phones. They save their phones. So people ask how we're doing phones on 13-year-old cases, because people do not throw out evidence. They keep the phone. So in a situation like this, there are no forensic extractions. In fact, the extractions we were provided were backups of iTunes, just exports. So it's third generation, and there is no way to verify the file paths and the history of any single photo that we've looked at.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You can have a seat in the courtroom or you're free to go.
Thank you very much.
All right, your next witness.
We call Beverly Leonard by video link.
I need the TV. All right, just give us a moment to get the TV up. All right, Ms. Leonard, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, can you just count to 5 for me so I can get you on the big screen in the courtroom?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. Oh, that's close. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, I do.
Well, start talking. We'll see you. Try the first question.
Good afternoon, Ms. Leonard.
Good afternoon.
All right, Ms. Leonard, if you could speak a little louder for me and try to count to 5 one more time. I'm just trying to get you on the TV screen.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, the lessons we learned in COVID, correct? Okay. All right, your first question.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Ms. Leonard.
Good afternoon.
Would you please state your full name for the record?
Beverly R. Leonard.
Where are you testifying from?
I'm testifying from my home in Arizona.
Are you familiar with the defendant in this matter, Amber Heard?
Yes, I am.
And how are you familiar with her?
I met her in 2009 at SeaTac International Airport.
Why were you at the airport?
I worked there.
What happened when you met Ms. Heard in 2009?
I was in
Was she?
the baggage claim area, and I
Oh.
observed her with a traveling companion, and they got into an altercation where Ms. Heard had grabbed her traveling companion and pulled something from her neck. At that point, I got up and went over to try to break up what appeared to be a fight. And I summoned a colleague to help me, and I stepped in between them and separated them, stopping any further injuries or escalation.
How would you describe the interaction between Ms. Heard and her traveling companion?
Ms. Heard was aggressive towards her traveling companion, and she had reached up and grabbed her arm and pulled a necklace off of her, and then I observed her having it in her hand. She seemed to be not very steady on her feet. Her eyes were blurry and watery, and I could smell alcohol.
Who was this engagement with?
What was Ms. Heard's
One of
traveling
her
companion's
companions.
reaction to being
Amber Heard
assaulted
was
by
doing
Ms.
too
Heard?
much at the
Objection,
airport.
relevance?
Oh,
And I'll sustain the objection.
On relevance?
I wonder if it was Spirit Airlines.
I'm not saying
What did Ms. Heard's traveling companion do?
Southwest.
She raised her hands in what appeared to be a defensive manner. But other than that, she was pretty stoic and didn't really respond much. Her stature was 2 or 3 inches taller than Ms. Heard, so she didn't really need to have to defend herself.
How would you describe Ms. Heard's demeanor when you stepped in between Ms. Heard and her traveling companion?
She was somewhat dismissive. She just said, we're just having an argument. We're fine. Because I was asking if they were okay. Are you okay? Is there anything wrong? What's going on? And
Objection,
she was,
hearsay. Just objection, hearsay to what she's saying.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
What, if any, injuries did you observe on Ms. Heard's traveling companion?
She had abrasion on the side of her neck where the necklace was, like a rope burn from the chain as it was removed.
How did you come to testify in this trial?
I became aware of this situation, specifically this trial, because I was sent an email anonymously. I don't even know who it came from, asking.
Objection, hearsay.
Right, I'll sustain the objection.
Damn.
She said, I don't know where it came from.
How would you
That's
generally
hearsay.
describe Ms. Heard's behavior when you met her in 2009?
Objection, Your Honor. I already asked and answered the specifics.
No, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Did Ms. Heard's sexual orientation have any impact on how you conducted
Objection.
yourself?
I'll sustain the objection.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, cross-examination.
Ms. Leonard, when did you contact counsel for Mr. Depp?
Late last night.
Late last night. Okay, and this happened in 2009, correct?
Yes.
13 years ago, correct?
Right.
Yes.
And you know that this trial is being televised, right?
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
And so you know that if you have something that might be significant to say, that way you can get on television, right?
No.
No, I had no desire to be on television. I actually
Speculation.
waited for a call and
Tried it.
wondered why I hadn't been contacted.
All right, but you you reached out and contacted them last night, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I have no further.
All right, any redirect?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Leonard. You're free to sign off. Thank you.
All right.
Now wash your hands because
All right.
they
Your
filthy.
next witness.
Meaning
Right.
meaning the stuff
Your
they
Honor, may
said
we
to you
approach?
is icky on you.
What a cornball.
Mm-hmm.
These are your cousins, though.
Oh my! Shout out to Alabama.
I'm not playing with you.
Ancestry 0.001%.
Not 0.001%.
Yeah, man.
Oh child. Oh child.
You know that code.
0.01011.
Exactly.
That's funny. Oh my God. Why are they so quiet? They like, we quit today. Can we just leave? Oh, they at the front again.
Appreciate everybody coming through. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're not greedy. Trying to hit that 500 marker. Goal is the 1,000. Goal is the 1,000, but 500 will be just appreciated. Hit the like button. Feel free to comment below. Thank you.
Yes, but why they got juice and water and coffee and Coca-Cola and
Now you see
candy?
how I was going through the other day. It's like it's too much going on. And then it's the first it was at the top right. So shout out to me for recognizing all that. That's just my little equal eye. They had it all up at the top right, at way out of arm's reach. Who's reaching for all that?
Right. They're like, let's bring it on in. Bring it on in.
And I'm that type of guy, and this is me, maybe, because even if I was a millionaire, not. But if I'm gonna bring all these little cold drinks, you'll be sitting there for like over an hour. Let's at least bring your little thermal cup, like the smart therapist had the other day. Pour that sucker in there. You're gonna be sitting there for a long haul.
Right. All of a sudden, I cannot spell.
Okay.
No. While I'm here doing this with you, I'm working on a project too, and I started to spell the word saucy wrong. You can't do that. That doesn't work.
Imagine that on a job application resume. So you said you want to work here? WORKE?
No, we say we want to work WERK. Where?
It says here your presentation, you're in words, WURD.
I'm not playing with you, sir. I refuse.
You know what? I like your moxie. I'm gonna hire you.
Yes.
It's all about the moxie.
Yes, indeed.
Johnny Depp got the full Justice League squad on the left. They are ready.
Yeah.
Oh, don't laugh, y'all. Don't laugh, Ambertine, because she's not gonna like that. Put the camera on her real quick. Please. Put the camera on her. That poor lady behind them. Okay. Shout out to Camille with the nice
Ladies and gentlemen,
pantsuit.
we're still on track to have closing arguments on Friday morning. But
Oh,
the
God.
plaintiff only has one more witness in rebuttal. And then since we have a counterclaim, the defense has a chance to have rebuttal for their counterclaim. And so you'll hear the remaining witnesses tomorrow on that. So since we don't have anything further today, I'm going to go ahead and release you at this point. Do not discuss the case with anybody. Don't do any outside research. And we'll see you back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Okay? Thank you.
Please tell us how much time we got. You said close the arguments at 5, so we're still coming back here tomorrow?
Yep, we'll be back tomorrow, friend.
They're killing me.
That's all, folks.
Okay.
You petty for that. That's
then
petty.
For the record, charge the plaintiff the remaining time till 5:30. The plaintiff has 7 hours and 8 minutes left as of this moment. And the defendant has 1 hour and 16 minutes left, right? So we're on the same page. Okay, and jury instructions, we get clean copies today.
Yes, Your Honor. So I think we just received their comments around noon today, but we've had someone not in the court who's been looking at those and I think has narrowed down the areas of disagreement and either is sending or has sent to Sammy an email that sets forth the few remaining issues of disagreement. But largely, I think we're mostly there, but I haven't had a chance to read what they said.
Mostly, okay, so I have everything, so I don't have everything quite yet then.
It's not finalized.
Okay, but I will get it sometime this evening.
There,
We have an hour now. You can stay in the courtroom and work it out. How about that?
we're happy to address those. I think
Let's-
we need an opportunity to see what we sent them our comments 2 days ago. We just got it
I
3 hours
understand,
ago.
but we have some extra time right now, so nobody leaves until I get my jury instructions.
Bruh, yes.
I like that. Okay.
Yes.
Come through, gangsta.
And the
Yes.
verdict form also. And then.
Nip
If
it
I
in the
could
bud
read Sammy's
now.
handwriting, I'd tell you exactly what he's saying. Sammy, what are you saying here? Oh, yes, we got the 3 jury instructions that are under advisement, so we'll address those tomorrow as well, okay? And we'll work on Sammy's penmanship. All right, anything else?
So to be clear, is Your Honor wants to hear the disputes right now or tomorrow?
We could, I mean, I don't think you know what the disputes are yet.
Right.
So I'll hear the disputes tomorrow. Well, yeah, we could do those at some point tomorrow. Sounds like we're gonna have some extra time tomorrow. So we'll take care of those tomorrow, but I want everything today. I want to know what those disputes are and have what you have clean
And
already.
that's what I'm saying. I think that by 5, you will get
Okay.
what the disputes are.
Okay, for everything, right? Okay, so just stay here until
For
we get
both.
all that,
Yeah.
for everything. Okay,
Sure.
great. Anything else then?
No,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
we'll
Thank
see you in the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There you go. Johnny Depp, you go your way. Amber Turd, you go your way. The lawyer's gonna stay here and figure this all out.
So y'all can go ahead and take yourselves home. Go on now.
See, there's another one, big girl right there, wearing something very nice and elegant. It's not how that other one was doing. Now she's doing a little bit better in the back. Okay, all right. Shout out to the big girls over here on this end representing.
That's right.
I don't know what she was doing the other day. I really don't know.
She said she wanted to invoke Grimace.
Come on.
I said it.
Exactly, Bernard. Uh-oh. Let's stay here and figure this all out.
Now it's crazy when the judge got to talk to you like she your mama though.
Yeah, she's been doing that. It's like, come on now. Like, well, let's figure this out. I'm fine with all the semantics, how y'all hearsaying and overruling everybody through the whole thing. It's like, and you're too aggressive with the questions. You got attitudes. Okay, we'll let that slide. But now you're just playing on the judge's time. You're trying to play that slick game. Oh, well, we don't have it right now. We emailed them 2 days ago. Okay, cool. Well, then I'm sure you got, I mean, they're cool about it. I'm sure they gave them responses back. I'm sure they're getting responses back.
Exactly. They just try to play stupid.
Johnny, where's your bodyguard? That old man, who's that old man? He ain't helping you. Johnny just needs some real friends. Johnny, come on, man. Reach out to me. Anybody that knows have contact information, I'm just gonna put out in the cloud. Ask Johnny to hit up the Great Pill podcast. You know what? He needs a good friend, like a genuine good friend. I'm that guy. I am that guy. I would prove my loyalty as a good friend. I won't delete nobody. I will not be a witness to no other further deletions or any paraphernalia being sold out there. I'm not that type of friend. But if you rent a home mansion out for me rent free for 9 months to a year, I'm down for the cause, brother. I'm
Be
down.
friends to the end like Chucky.
Yeah. I am down to the cause. You hit me up randomly like, yo, you want to go out and hit to my island for like 3 months? Yes, sir. But I am that dude. So who coming?
Okay.
Who coming? You ain't bringing her. Hey, Johnny, we talked about this all night, man. Remember you was crying. Remember you had your choice of drink. Remember, your choice of drink. It wasn't wine because she threw that lie on you. You know what I'm saying? So how we doing this? I'm your wingman, right? Okay, bad. Just looking out for you, Johnny. Just looking at you, JD. Looking up for you, JD. What kind of party we doing? Because you like the paint and write poetry. I'm not that dude, but I'll listen for a bit. We want the women. What are we doing, Johnny? Let's talk.
Oh, stop it! You are that dude.
I'll be a real friend, man. Like, where we going with this conversation right now? We riding out? Okay, cool. Let's ride out. I got you. I'm gonna hang with you. I will hang with you. If you want to sit there and do some poetry stuff, clearly you want your time. I'm gonna go ahead and go over there to the right a little bit. I'll see you in like 6 hours.
You're so silly. I can't with you, sir. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So again, I'm just putting it out there. If anybody got Johnny's contact information, let me know. Tell him to reach me out. I will be his best friend for life. That's pretty much what real friendship's about. You give to receive to give.
Exactly.
Cup runneth over.
From everlasting to everlasting.
Now, what is going on here?
I don't know.
She knows she is so screwed. She
Yes,
is so
she is.
screwed. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury on the Great Pill Podcast, you can look at the demeanor every time they end. The first time, she's rushing out the door. Second time, yesterday, she was just on that the sad vibe. Oh, man, we can't see. Man, we couldn't see the end of the. I was speculating. My behind off.
So I'm sitting here and I wait because I need to see all of this, all of it.
I was speculating my tushy off. Shout out to Bernard. Excuse me, Bernard. I'm supposed to respect their name, Bernard. Bernard says the show would be called the Great Pill Podcast from around the world. JD. Hey, you know what? I'm a patent pen that because I have an idea for another channel.
Hey,
I'm a patent pen that, brother. And if it becomes successful, I swear in everything I love, you would get shout outs. You would get talked about and called out on a positive note. And I will even make sure I even reach out to you to see if you and your lovely better half were like, hey, dinner's on me. Thank you. Dinner is on me.
exactly. Oh, child. Come on in the room.
We might have to rebrand that, but the cool points still go to you, sir. The cool points still go to you. I might not call it the Great Pill Podcast around the world, but I might call it JP around the world and Justin around the world. Ang does his thing. Ang does his
with
thing.
that twang. No,
Swing.
hey, bada.
Right. This has been real fun and honestly, I think this one's actually been educational because I didn't know when the forensic came on. A lot, and it's weird. A lot of stuff should have been. I'm just that type of guy. It's like you should have put all this to the forefront, and then let the jury decide. But unfortunately, this is the art of war. I haven't read the book. I recommend everybody else do. But this has literally been the art of war, and these are the games that need to be played in your own survival, or at least understanding the game of art of war for your sanity. So
Sometimes you have to let people play it out. Play it on out.
you know what? That's actually fair because I think I had a conversation with somebody about that. My mom always said I'm a patience like a mom. Oh, cool, Andrew. Yeah, man. I'll drop the link for you real quick, and we'll chop it up for a little bit. Because to be perfectly honest, this should have been lasted another. The link is for Mandrell and Bernard. I know Bernard, I think you're still at work, but the link is for Mandrell. Excuse me. The link is for Mandrell. Bernard, if you actually have the time, you're more than welcome to drop in, bro, because you actually gave me a new name to a possibility of a new content, new channel. So thank you. All right.
Bernard is he good people.
Hey, man, he said free mail. I'm good now.
Oh, so Mandrell's not good people too?
You didn't get?
Yeah,
did you?
man.
Did you
Ooh, Mandrell.
Yeah, we're making about there with fuck. All right, cool. Hey, did you give me a name? Did you give me some kind of name or suggestion to a new brand, sir?
Man, you're gonna get a spanking.
No, okay, all right.
What are we branding?
Well, if we gave an idea to a new channel, because I said I would be Johnny Depp's best friend, so I'm putting it, since everybody like to manifest, I'm manifesting that Johnny Depp be my best friend, and that we go across the world and all that and have some good times. I would be his best wingman. So Bernard was graciously gave a pitch idea. He said, "Hey, the new show will be called The Great Pill Podcast from Around the World with Jay Depp." So I thought it was pretty cool. So
I like that.
See,
I like they should have a contract.
that's a free dinner right there.
That is. I like
that.
Yeah. So we'll work out the kinks and wiggle rooms with the contracts, Bernard. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know.
Lord, not hint, hint, wink, wink. Not you better watch it.
Yeah, because he got me live. I got to go ahead and just put that in there too. He said he was going to give me dinner. He said he's going to take me and my wife out. Oh. Let's talk about the details first and the fine print. Let's talk about the contract.
You will go to Applebee's and get a 2 for $20.
Hey, you know what? No, because Papi Blanco, shout out to Papi Blanco. We'll do Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse.
Hi, Mandrell. How you doing today?
Hey, I just got done watching Love, Death, and Robots. The new
season. Oh my! Yeah. Please don't. I was holding on because thank you. I'm glad you add that because that was another one I forgot about because that was actually the first. It was Love, Sex, Robots. It was Stranger Things coming out soon.
The 27th.
Thank you.
2 days.
Thank you. Then we got Obi-Wan this Friday, 2 episodes. And then we got in June, I forgot when June, Robbie can tell me about the Boys, the new season for the Boys. Yeah. Oh,
June 3rd.
Thank you. And I'm glad you're here. So that's 5, June 3rd. So 8 days from now, everybody have time to recap. But I will reach out to everybody and get the band together so we can have a recap conversation. So Robbie, so how we're doing this? So are we going to just go ahead and just because last conversation you had, we're going to talk about recap about season 2 plus the Chronicle, and then we're going to watch. Then we're going to do that on the 1st. Oh, that's what we're going to do. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
Now this is the thing.
Good.
Okay,
right,
good. Yeah, we're going to do season 2, season 1, and
What's up?
Hey,
by the way, I'd also like to add, no spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
This season of Love, Death, and Robots, well worth it. This is how.
Oh yes, I want to say like 2, but yes, he's right so far.
I mean, what you loved about it, they took that and amped it up, and the things that you didn't like they just left all that out.
Thank you.
Like it's like this was the apology for the last season, for the previous season.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, like, sorry, we're sorry about that. Yeah, we fucked up. Have this. Yeah, we fucked up. Have this. That's what this season was, Angela. So that's my take on it. Catch up on it as soon as you can. Well worth it.
Can't wait.
That's good.
this is some buggity bull crap.
All right. How about the bull crap? Did you get any? Well, I know Bernard been watching. I don't know if you watched this morning, Bernard. I didn't watch it this morning.
Oh my God.
What's your thoughts about this morning? Just to give us a little recap because we didn't really catch it this morning.
Ooh, they read Johnny Depp's like messages. He called this one guy. He said, "Yeah, I don't know why I got this Russian chick who got this filleted pussy." Yo, they read all that out.
Oh wow!
Like he started talking about her vagina. I was like, oh. Everybody's mouth just like dropped in the court. I was like, oh. Bro.
He said, "What now?"
He said
her pussy was filleted.
No.
Yeah, like I don't know why he was talking about her pussy, how it stank. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. YouTube friendly. Can't say the PUSSY.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Her vagina.
Vagina.
Her vagina.
But they read all of it. Like they did not cuss. They read exactly.
They cursed. Yeah, they cursed.
Oh yeah, they
man. It was vulgar.
Yeah, it was vulgar. I was like, dang, Johnny Depp, you really don't like her. You really don't like her. God knows. Jesus. I felt violated and I wasn't her. Okay. Just saying. Hey. Yeah, they're gonna probably talk about that on TMZ because, bro, that was vulgar.
TMZ be on top of everything though.
Oh yeah, they do.
I
They
like
do.
their team. I love their team.
Yeah, they be on top of it. And they had the guy that used to work for TMZ. I don't know if y'all saw that part. Who was
Yeah,
like the whistleblower or whatever. Yeah, they had him.
with
So
the black suit with the
you know,
gray tie. You talking about him?
yeah, with the black nails.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
the
was
black
in for
nails.
that one.
Yeah. I like him. I liked him. He got smart with them. That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, he's giving. I mean, he's giving them the same. Lily, that's a perfect example. You're giving the energy that's given back to you.
Yeah, but it's like everybody's saying, and you guys are saying, you paying grandma $6 million for what? Really?
Yeah,
She
Grandma,
really, yo, grandma,
you need that
grandma,
money.
yo,
She old and
grandkids
need
about
her
to be set
medicine,
off.
man. She need that bread.
Not even that. Not even that. Mandrell, you pay me $6 million, bro. Like real talk, I'm the most focused, sharp, precisionist dude in my life. I don't know what grandma doing.
For $6 million. What's she doing for that $6 million?
I don't know.
I don't know,
I
bro.
mean, let me
I don't
know. Let me know what you need. I can help you out.
Bro,
$6
I
million.
don't know.
I'll get it done.
I mean, like, and I'm being honest with y'all. I've been to like, lead attorney and some other channels, and everybody's saying the same thing. They're like, "What is grandma getting paid for?" Like other attorneys were saying this, like, what is grandma doing? I'm like, bro,
Her
$6
team
million, I don't
this
know what she
week.
do. Oh my god, I'd be upset. Well, like you said yesterday, and you saw her hands going crazy yesterday because she was mad. She was mad, rightfully so. You paying that much money, I'd be mad too. I'd be mad too. You didn't do nothing. You literally didn't do nothing to me. I mean, like, and you out of hours. Like, oh my god, they just. But I will say this for y'all, for anybody that did not see it. If they would have kept Johnny up there any longer and they would have kept reading those text messages, man, he would have shot himself in the foot because he's a vulgar dude. He's vulgar. I'm like, y'all hurry up and get Johnny off the stand. just get Johnny off the stand. Because he had to admit to that because like Raw B. Privilege said, hey guys, I don't care who you dating. I don't care how long ago it happened. These records and stuff can be subpoenaed. You think it's deleted? It's not deleted.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just like my buddy at Canon, I messed up some pictures. Like we messed up some pictures or we deleted them. Man, he was like, here, man, download the software. Man, I pulled up every picture from like 10 years ago. I said, hey, man. I'm married now, right? Hey, come on, man.
That whole part.
That software pulled up everything. He was like, yeah, you need to be in the room, and when you and Mandrill pull those old pictures up that is bringing up everything, yeah, just be in the room by yourself.
Yeah.
Forewarning for everybody that's listening, be in the room by yourself.
That's what's funny, but I had a buddy at one job that he was real funny about taking pictures or just posting pictures on Facebook or even with Google. That's the levels I knew of. Like if you post a picture, automatically saved to the cloud, to Google account, and stuff like that. Because he said he didn't want nobody tracking him on those levels. Because I remember. This is like a few years ago. I thought it was like, ooh, cool. But at the same time, most people are like, that's a little bit too much borderline invading the privacy. I remember taking a picture with my ex at a certain location at their mom's house, right? And then later on, the picture came back. So I took the picture and like you click on it, it shows like the origin of whatever it is. It actually showed a GPS location where you took that picture. That flipped me out.
Yep. Because okay, say in court and law something happened with you and her, it's a good and bad thing, and Raw B can back me up on this. She can back me up, and all you guys can. But when that happens, and somebody say you were somewhere and you're not, well, you got two things going for you: the chip and bouncing off the tower, and you got that picture because you can't edit the picture time. Like the guy was saying on the stand, it has a timestamp on it from here on out. Nothing you can do about it. So. That's okay. I'm about to say. Oh, this is why you hear real cats be like, sometimes you just leave your phone at home. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what you're going to go do, people. I'm just saying. Sometimes you just leave your
That's
phone at home.
funny.
That's the real truth right there.
And I ain't gonna say. I'll say the year, but I got an old pickup man truck for a reason because it's an 04, so it don't have all them chips. No, No, if Bernard want to go like Mandrill Special Forces, and I'm like only like 4 hours away from West Virginia, oh, I get lost. I get lost.
There you go.
And that's
Yeah.
and I hate to say that because I know a lot of people, not like us, that I do talk to at work, and their brothers are like that. They're like, no, man, he live off the grid. I said, I know he do, and people don't realize how hard it is to live off the grid than what it used to be when we were growing up. When we were growing up, it was easier to live off the grid, but now,
the world
satellites
is
everywhere.
Well, the thing is, the world is far too connected now. You know what I mean? Because of the integration of the internet into everything almost. It's much harder to live off the grid, as you say. It's just everything's so connected and everything's streamlined. You know, it's the same thing as that's why you can't have an American company and have everything be made in America right out the gate. You have to work up to that because everything's here is more expensive, but you have it made in like Pakistan or China. It's far cheaper, but even China's getting expensive. Well, it has gotten expensive. I've learned that myself. It's crazy. Like you say, satellites everywhere, man. I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah. It's not easy like it used to be. It's actually scary in a sense. But I will say this, and this is a freebie for everybody. You know, it's just like what the government and certain whatever 3-letter words we want to use, because there's a lot of 3-letter companies that you don't even know exist that I found out through my daughter and some other people, right? What you can bank on though is that everybody wants to be where everybody is. So you just got to do the opposite of what everybody's doing. That's it. That's what I tell people. I'm like, if you really want to be alone, you could be alone. But just saying. I'm just really
They
saying.
want to be where you are. Let me stop.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. It's crazy. It's like I'd never probably get rid of my laptop. I got a computer guy I deal with. He's like, nah, you probably never want to do that. He said, unless we take the motherboard and just like shred it, yeah. Otherwise, just stay with me.
Well, the thing is, you want to destroy the hard drive as well.
Yep.
Because because people don't know that a lot of things get backed up in the CMOS, and the CMOS is located on the motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Shh, don't sound low.
Yeah, you're getting too much tea now. Oh man. That's like if you're a million cases. That's like if you're a million case subscriber. You can't tell it all. You know what? I'll end this. We'll be back backstage real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody for chiming in to keep us company for the live stream for the court. So again, what I said, tomorrow morning. Oh Lord, we'll see how that works out. And they mentioned about Friday, so we'll see how they go. I still would love to know exactly how much time limit they got, because I remember last week one had 4 hours, the other one had 10, 18 hours. So hashtag Amber Turd, and we'll leave it like that.
Justice for Johnny.
That part.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough